Welcome back to the Inner Core Show. I'm your host, Mr. B. Today we have a very exciting show for you. We're talking about dating and relationship again, and who better to go to than to the Godfather himself, God rest his soul. He talked to a modern day woman who's probably in her 30s, and he brought all the smoke. Now, I haven't seen this video, but it's looking like it's going to be a fiery one. So let's jump right into it.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's your life. You can choose to live it however you want to, but it's not live. It doesn't really sound like living. Who has a disc? Hey, Marie. Ooh, 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 ooh. Hello. Hold on. Does anybody have a disagreement? If you have a hold on. If you have a disagreement, raise your hand on the screen. Because I'm seeing people with their hands raised in the chat room. Well, go ahead, unmute yourself. Hello. Okay. Your first
It's not
name?
important, so that's why I didn't raise my hand.
Okay, your first name?
But you said that
Your first name?
Lovey.
Okay, go ahead.
You said that most Black women expect the man to take the bulk of the responsibility as far as bills and stuff go. And I just don't agree with that. From my experience, from how I feel, and from my friends, I think that two incomes can always get you so much more than one.
Okay.
That's it. It wasn't that big a deal.
I didn't say have one income. I said Black. I said.
Hold
on. Listen. I listen to you. Please don't overtalk me. You and your friends. I'm not going to dispute that, but I've been talking to women for going on a year now, and night after night, Black women come on this show saying that they would like to be able to be married and have a husband and kids, and would not like to have to pay significant bills after they're married. There's months and months and months and months of this. And before this show happened, there's 30 plus years of living. So I accept that what you're saying, but what I'm saying is this. Ultimately, women, especially black women, would like, I'm not going to argue it anymore. So you mean to tell me that, well, if you guys are going to live, it takes two incomes. I agree, to live a middle class life. But ultimately, who would you want the financial responsibility to fall on in a marriage? If it had to fall upon one of you, who do you want it to fall on to? You?
Well, I wouldn't want it to fall on either one of us, but if it fell on me, so be it. If it falls on him,
I asked you a question. If I know you wouldn't want it to, but if it had to fall on one of you, who would you want it to fall on to?
I don't know how to answer that, because I wouldn't want it to fall on either one of us.
Yes, you do. You just don't want to answer.
No.
Yes, you do. I gave you okay, ma'am. It has to. If it has to fall on one of you, that means it's going to happen. Do you want to be the breadwinner, or do you want him to be the breadwinner?
Okay, so thinking about it, maybe I would want him to be the breadwinner, because men make more money than women.
Okay, so ultimately, ma'am, most women feel that way. They want the ultimate responsibility. They don't want to see it happen that way, but at the end, they want the responsibility over there. And that's natural and that's normal. And what I'm saying is we need to start saying that more, because far too many women are upset today when they're hearing men talk about 50-50, when the last 30 years, men have been told, hey, women are going out and getting your own degree, getting this, getting that, getting a job, being able to pay their own ways. There are some men who actually believe that it's insulting to women to offer to pay 100%. Because that's what they've been raised to believe. They think it's insulting to open a door for a woman. They think it's insulting to pull out of a chair. They think it's insulting to split anything, to pay, to reach out. And I'm telling guys, That may be what you heard, but at the end of the day, women all pretty much have the same core programming. At the end of the day, if there's a bump in the night, they want you to go take the bullet, not them. If Freddy Krueger or Jason is running at you, even if they're bigger than you, they want you to take the knife. And at the end of the day, if it all fell apart, they want the financial responsibility to fall on you, not them. Because that's how we are socialized. That's how we evolved. That's how we're raised. Black folks are no different in this regard. Appreciate your call, though. All right, who has a disagreement? Oh, I guess I'll go another 20 minutes because it's a little late. Christina, do you have a disagreement? Your hand is up. No, her hand's not up. Jody, your hand's down. Miss Carter, is your hand up? Do you have a? Okay. Let's do this one. You have? Okay. I know plenty of women who look. Okay. You can need to get on camera if you're gonna. Okay. Here we do. I don't do the anecdotal thing. Go ahead. Unmute yourself. I can. Your first name is? Go ahead. First off, are modern women overqualified for marriage?
You know, I actually typed in the chat box, what is your definition of modern women? Because I think that kind of clears, you know.
Women in 2020. I mean, take the question as it were, ma'am. I don't. You can answer it however you like to answer it. Modern women. I don't really know. You want me to give you the Webster's Dictionary?
No.
Modern working women.
Like educated, highly educated. I'm assuming high paying.
They can be that. They can be that. They can be highly educated. They can just have a high school education. But what women today are not the women that were raised in our grandparents, great grandparents, silent generation. Women today are different. I mean, we're socialized differently. We're raised differently. Mm-hmm. And many women feel as though they're overqualified for marriage. I ran down at the beginning of the broadcast. I went over 11 things that women are often told not to settle because you have all these things.
No,
and ultimately makes them overqualified. Go ahead.
I definitely don't believe that women are overqualified. You know, they can be educated, very highly intelligent, attractive, know how to, and domesticated, know how to keep a house, know how to raise children.
Hold on. You say they do know how to do these things?
Yes.
So most women know how to keep a house and raise children?
Yes, the women that I know, yes, they all know how.
All right, to. But due respect, we're talking about far more than just the women you know.
Right.
So when I'm talking about, especially in the Black community, what percentage of Black women would you say have the skill sets that the women of the women you're talking about?
Of keeping a home, raising children.
Yeah, what percentage of Black women in the what percentage of Black women in the United States have those skills?
I would say more than half, probably about 70%.
So at the beginning of the broadcast, I put up a straw poll that I asked, and of almost 7,600 male respondents, 83% of men said that women today do not qualify to be marriageable. And then I asked the same thing of women, and they said only 30% of men aren't qualified as marriageable. But what I'm hearing you say is fully 70% of women have these wifely skills.
Yes, sir.
Why is it the men don't see it the same? Why is it the men surveyed don't see what you're seeing, and they're out here dating them?
Well, I think that perhaps it's the type of women that they're dating, because if you're looking for someone who knows how to cook, who can keep a home, who can raise children, she may not be, she may have children. She may be struggling with her weight.
Man, hold on. How old are you?
But
hold on. How old? 30?
Yes, sir.
30?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm 51. And let me give you a little background. I've been dating since I was 15. In my 36 years of dating and 2 failed marriages, I've known 2 women that could cook. 2. I can go onto my mixed group and pull up 400 men who will tell you the same thing. Ma'am, due respect, there may be something to be said about the women that these men are choosing, but I think it's kind of disingenuous to just overlook them and say the majority of men aren't seeing what's really out there. If 70% of women, in particular, are we talking about black women? If 70% of black women could do this kind of stuff, why are 1 in 4 married? To anybody?
Well, you're asking me a question?
Yeah,
right?
if 70% of black women have these wife skills, why can 1 in 4 expect to be married to anybody?
Well, in my opinion, I believe that a lot of people aren't looking to be married. That's why they aren't.
Okay. 2019, divorces were at a 50-year low in the United States. 2019, new marriage filings were at a 50-year high. People are still getting married, ma'am. On this channel, especially even in my group, roughly now it's about 600. At the time, it's like 800 black men and black women. Of the 400 men asked, do you want to be married? 397 said yes. 3 said no. In less than 4 months, going on 5 months of having this group, 5 couples have gotten together in my Facebook group, 2 on their way to being married. And it's just a group I threw together as a happenstance. Ma'am, men want to be married. And what I'm hearing and what I'm trying to show you, ma'am, is the disconnect that you have there's a disconnect between what you start learning. Yeah. So in 2021, Desiree, go ahead. In 2021, I'm going to be profiling a healthy couple of the month across all my platforms as an example of what's possible. I'm also going to try to pick from the followers and subscribers a weekly, monthly, or bi-weekly, or monthly man and woman to just kind of promote like the Bachelor of the Month, Bachelorette of the Week, whatever. But then, like I said, we're all the therapists and counselors and all the resources to help people. Wife school, cooking classes. If you're involved in anything relational, here's my email. Send me an email. Put together a network of resources for people trying to actually take it to the next level, to where we can actually bring value to the table, to where men and women both feel like they're getting a solid deal, to where nobody feels like they're being taken advantage of or hustle. What's going on, Ma?
Hey, how are you, Kevin? I missed you.
Hi, what's going on now?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. What you got for me?
Awesome. Okay, so I think you kind of touched on this already, but I would, I'm just going to say it anyway because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
So I know your topic right now, you said it was more so about how women feel like they're overqualified and how the men feel like there's not a lot of, qualified women. From just speaking from our Black community, I think there is problems from both sides, but it's still more so the women's fault, because from my experience, my dad's military.
Let me change the fault. Let me change the word fault. The opportunity lies with women, because we got to start because saying fault is going to trigger people. It's not women's fault. This is corporate speak. It's not fault. The opportunity area for you ladies is here. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. And thank you for correcting me.
That's all right, because you know it's how you say stuff.
Yeah, no, it is.
You gotta be able to laugh at yourself, man. Go ahead.
I know people are so sensitive, but yeah. So what I've seen just growing up, my dad being military, I'm just used to direct men. I'm used to assertive men. I'm used to men that really just, they're going to tell it how it is, but they're still going to respect you in a way as well, too, the men that I'm around. Mm-hmm. And what I've seen growing up is there is a lot of Black men that I don't know if it's because they've been raised by single mothers. They don't have a lot of male influence in their life. But I just feel like they want the woman to kind of control the relationship.
Yep.
And I don't like a relationship like that. And I can't function with a relationship like that because for me, I love my man to be a man. And I'm probably shortening my choices down because I do want a Black man, because I love when a Black man is confident and you guys are assertive, and it's just something about you, and I just love it, and I to me, in my eyes, in my perspective, that's how I view it.
This is an opportunity area for men as well, because as us being raised by our mothers, you cannot help being raised by a mother, not having a father in the household. Yes, there are a lot of guys who saw women in leadership positions. This is something that many men have to learn how to overcome and compensate as well. But see, the thing is, this is why self-awareness becomes so important. And I'm working with a group right now to actually start putting out resources for people to actually, in the comfort of their own home, actually gauge their actual self-awareness of who they are. See, when we come into this in good faith and saying, I didn't have a daddy, you didn't have a daddy. I was raised by my mama, you was raised by my mama. We all jacked up. Yep, I'm jacked up too. I'm in therapy, you're in therapy. All right, cool. Well, what do you want? What do you want? And we all figure out we got to do something, but we can have, that's a more honest thing other than saying, all I got to do is go down here and make money. And all I got to do is be hot. That does not work. And to hear, and I will tell you this, Black men, listen to me and listen well. You will hear a lot of sisters say that they're good with splitting the bills or 50-50, 60-40, 70-30. It's been my experience that most Black women want you to be able to pay all the bills, whether they say it or not. Do with that information as you will. And honestly, in my personal opinion, it's better if you can pay all the bills, live at your budget, make a decision. But there's a problem when, just like Sis said, when you put leadership position onto hips. Stress is made for shoulders, not hips. I said that before. And just because you were raised by a mother doesn't mean you cannot become the man that you never saw. That's something that men need to hear from men and need to be able to see in themselves. You can become the man you never saw and break that quote unquote generational curse. It has to start somewhere. It's not fair that it happen that way, but we don't get to choose life. We can only choose how we deal with it. We're back. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll be back on Thursday. I got to get through these people, Destiny.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right. Let's see who has an issue here. Alexandra, and then A. Marie. Okay, Alexandra. How?
Can you hear me?
Oh, hold on. Hi. First name. Your first name? And how old are you? And how old are you? What do you got for me? Okay, what do you have for me? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I stumbled upon your videos at a pivotal point in my life. So I'm about to graduate my finance degree, and I'm actually moving the cross country for a job in my field. So I'm kind of wondering how I can market myself in a new city where I hear the dating scene is kind of brutal. So I wonder if you have any advice on that.
All right. It's really not what we're talking about tonight, The conversation is about modern women being overqualified. But what region are you in? What part of the country?
I'm currently in the New York metropolitan area.
Say again? I couldn't hear you.
I'm currently in the New York metropolitan area.
And how can you market yourself? Are you basically trying to see how you can put yourself out there to find a man?
I guess.
Well, I don't know. Is that what it is? What's the outcome you want?
To be married, kids.
All right.
It's just a new city, so I'm kind of.
All right. So
I get called back another time.
Yeah, probably better. Be better to call back another time because this is kind of convoluted. But there's a at the end of the day, if you're moving into a major city, a major area, getting plugged into a local, whether you go to church for religious reasons or not, go to a mega church, getting active in your community, active in meetup groups, active in charity or philanthropy. You got to get out. Join the gym where all the executives go. Don't just join the gym that's the least expensive. Lots of different things. And actively network. Find the nice side of town where the cigarette houses are, the steak houses. Eat at the bar, those kind of things. There's a lot that you can do to get out and make yourself available to the kind of men that you would like to pick you. Got it? We'll call back on another day. Maybe it'll be a better subject. Okay.
Okay, that was Kevin Samuels as he asked the controversial question: are modern women overqualified for marriage? And you see, you got a lot of different women's perspectives on it. But I think the point he raised about being in the dating field for more than 30 years and only knowing 2 women who knew how to cook, I mean, that's very telling of what's going on. A lot of times women just want to be in a relationship for the sake of wanting to be in a relationship, but they're not exactly equipping themselves to do well in the relationship. And I think it's not just a matter of cooking, so please don't hear it like that. To me, it's more about a willingness to serve your partner, right? For a man, when you take on another person to do life with, it has to be understood that this person is now your responsibility, which means that you have to do everything in your power to ensure that, you keeping a roof over her head, you providing, a reasonable lifestyle for this person to live and exist in. And also that you're being respectful and treating the person as Christ would treat the church, right? But for a lot of women, I feel like they're entering relationships without really a true sense or true value for the person that they're entering a relationship with. It's just a means to an end. So if a man is willing to accept you, I don't know, maybe with a kid or whatnot, then he's viewed as a utility and not so much as a person worthy of your love. And when you love someone, that's when you will sacrifice and ensure you do everything to ensure that they have what they need, right? To have each other's needs met. If a man needs his woman to be affectionate, supportive, loving, kind, resourceful, caring, those are qualities that man expects to have when he comes home, right? And in the same way, a woman should expect that her man's gonna value her, and love her the way that Christ loved the church. I mean, I'm sort of advising from my point of view, which is rooted in Christian belief, in that, you have to be the better servant. So the Bible says that the greatest amongst you be a servant. So our goal in a relationship should be to outserve each other, right? It's not necessarily any one person's job to do anything, right? If your woman's at home 90% of the time while you're outside 90% of the time working, she should be useful while she's at home, making sure she's keeping the home, making sure she's keeping the children, making sure that there's a meal or whatnot, so that when you get home, you can do that. And while you're outside 90% of the time, you should be proactive in creating some sort of income of some sort to ensure that your family's protected and that you're making enough for yourself and for her, right? And then you guys serve each other. Sometimes those roles may change, where she may be able to command a better paycheck than you, and she's got to go outside and work. And if you're at home, then you should be willing to pull the weight of home, right? Like, these are things that I think should be interchangeable, but people come into it with the expectations that there's defined roles. So even though the woman is supposed to maintain the house, if you're not pulling your weight with regards to doing work outside, she's got to go work and come home and do the same amount of work in the house. That's not a fair situation. And to me, that's not a person who's reciprocating effort, right? To me, I feel like both parties should be willing to reciprocate, right? And at the same time, the respect has to be at the core of the relationship. A respect for each other's value to the relationship, a respect for your differences. All these things have to be respected. And what you find is a lot of women don't necessarily respect the men they marry, right? Which is what leads them to not really lending a hand in the areas where those men would value their input. And I think whenever you have a situation that's not really rooted in love, it's not very long before it falls apart. So, I mean, I've been in one or two relationships that I can recount that, this applies to. So I do have experience with this to be able to speak intelligently about it. But I'm sure, you as a listener may have different experiences. So with that, I invite you to share your thoughts. What do you think? Did I get it wrong? Did Kevin get it wrong? Is his advice off? Or did he hit it right on the head? If you're not already a subscribe member to the show, like and subscribe, stay connected, because we definitely want to grow the community and obviously make content that is useful, for people's relationships to be constructive and things of that nature. But also, I ask that you like and subscribe and weigh in on the conversation and share your thoughts. I thank you guys once again for joining me on this show. And until we speak again, God bless.